Okay. Thanks for taking us down memory lane. Your memory lane. I will take the opportunity to go down my memory lane.
Yeah, go
to
on,
bring you in with me, guys. So yeah, 2011. Did you say you gotta buckle up? 2011. Yeah, it was a Sunday. I was part of it was called DNA. So students and young people.
Yeah.
Group, and yeah, I was welcoming. I was on the welcoming team.
Mm-hmm.
So greet people at the door, direct them to come in. Nope.
Something.
Nope.
A sign.
Nope. I can't remember what it stood for, but yes. So Natty and I went to uni together, same year.
Shout out Natty.
And Natty had been inviting me to her church for a while, and yeah, I think a few months before that I started attending, and then I joined DNA and started serving in that. So that Sunday she had introduced Bo and I after church. She was like, oh, there's someone that I want you to meet. So she called him over and she was like, oh, this is Bo, this is Nolly. Get to know each other. You're both from like that was gonna sound really bad. You're both neighbors.
Natty is also from Africa.
Yeah,
so that would have been weird.
Your neighbors. You're from Zimbabwe, Bo. Nolly's from South Africa, and you both like Trevor Noah. But she's like, yeah, I just wanted to introduce you guys.
Do you think she was plotting?
I don't know. Natty, were you plotting though? You're not meant to be talking.
Sorry.
But yeah, I think I had to go somewhere. So I was in a bit of a rush. So one of the three of us needed to go somewhere. So it was a brief intro, and we're like, oh, we'll be back in the evening. Cool. Evening comes, and Bo comes, and I'm like, oh, hey, it was so nice meeting you earlier. We just have loads of Trevor Noah bants, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so homesick. It's so cool that we've got a mutual liking for a Southern African fellow mutual person. Yeah, and like I did not do my duty that day. I just spent it talking to Bongani until I heard on the mic, oh guys, we're going to be starting in a few minutes, can you find your seats? Oh, okay. So yeah, about 15 minutes I literally just had banter with Bo. It still feels weird calling me Bo. I'll be fleeting in and out. Bo, Bongani.
You call me baby.
Yeah, baby? I've never called you baby. Stand up, darling. I've never called you any of those things.
What is it? KFC.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Chambalamle, Kentucky. Yeah. So that was the Sunday. It was, yeah, like October times. Yeah, October, because I think it was the first Sunday after students started at uni. Would have been like October, early October, or maybe after the half term. I can't remember. It was October though. So yeah, like, oh, he's cool. He asks me for my number, and like up until that point, I was like, nah, you don't need my number. If I don't like you, if I even sense an inkling of you liking me, and I don't feel the same, it's okay. You can stay there, because
that's guys in general.
Yeah. That was just my stance. Like, there's no point like exchanging numbers because I already don't want what you want. I was so deep. But when Bongani asked me, I was like, I think there was a moment where I was like, it's okay though. I convinced myself. I was like, it's okay though, because I convinced myself, because I was like, it's fine, because we're family. Trevor Noah is our mutual person. This is nothing. I think it's cool people to hang out with. And I'm like, I've got a boyfriend anyway. Yeah, I was like, it's cool. Yeah, you can have my number. I did not anticipate that we would be like texting every day after that. I think we texted that evening, to be fair, from that evening. Just nothing. It was nothing romantic. It was just stupid texts, wasn't it? Just for the sake of texting. What are you doing? What are you doing now? What about you? Yeah, okay. How's your day going? What lessons did you have today at uni? Really? What lessons? I don't know. What did you have for dinner? What did you have for breakfast? What did you have? It was literally just random things to keep us texting. But at the time, I was like, oh, he's just cool. I had no feelings because I was like in a committed relationship. Stop laughing like that. I was in a relationship and I was like, it's nothing. And I was committed in a committed relationship. I was like, it's nothing. Yeah, so Natty, Bongani and I formed a band. We were in a band together. We hang out together all the time, the three of us. We never hang out, just me and Bongani, because I was like, we don't need that kind of temptation. We don't need that kind of whatever in the mix. And I've got a boyfriend, so I don't need to be hanging out with another guy by myself. Because oftentimes that doesn't really lead to anything good. Whatever.
I have a question to ask.
No.
I'll ask at the end.
Okay. But yeah, so it was like that for like 8 months. So October, and then Bongani and I were both, and Nat actually, Natty, we were all in the kids ministry together. So we hung out, we saw each other, we were kind of doing everything as the three of us really. So about 8 months later, it's this kids weekend away. And I had just finished and handed in my dissertation. And so like Natty asked me, oh, you should come. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like this dissertation has shown me all the flames. Like it's ungo, like it's intense. Like the flames, I'm in a furnace. She's like, come on, you know, it'll be like a bit of a celebration. You've finished your dissertation, you've finished uni, like de-stress or whatever. And I was like, Last minute, I was like, okay, cool. I think the week after the weekend, I was like, cool, it's fine, I'll come. Yeah, I was like, it'd be a good weekend, we'll be with the kids. And actually, I think I was really looking forward to the activities as well. Okay. There was like zip wire, climbing wall, abseiling. It just sounded like it'd be fun and be like a really good de-stressor. So I was like, cool. And I mean, that was part of it. The majority of it was journeying with the kids. In case you guys just wanted to go for the fun. It was partly the fun, but it wasn't the most part. It wasn't the overriding reason. Anyway. So we're there for bank holiday weekend. I think pretty much as soon as we got there, we were just being silly, like play fighting, like bickering for the sake of bickering just to win. You know, I always had to have the last say. I always had to throw the last punch. I never, ever, ever wanted to not be the last man standing. And so obviously that then escalated to points where we were now running through the complex acting like kids. Like, what are you guys doing? Oh, he punched me. I'm gonna get him back. Like, wow. I'm pretty sure one of the young people said, are you guys not meant to be looking after us? What?
And we got pulled up by Lisa.
Now that you've said it, I'm like,
I just remember that. Sorry.
Yeah, Lisa was one of the pastors, really. You want me to interject? You've thrown me off now. Saturday. So this is day 2. We arrived there, I think, Friday afternoon or Friday evening, early evening. Saturday afternoon is kind of like a bit of a downtime, hang out, kids do. I think it was just kind of free time, so the young people could do what they wanted, and as long as we were kind of about to kind of supervise and keep an eye out. And I don't know, Wangani had punched me or something, and I was like, got him back, and then I ran. It's like, can't get me. If I go into the bedroom, he's not gonna come in, because guys and girls weren't allowed to mix with, I was like, I'm safe. And literally, guys, I heard the door open and he was there. And I was like, whoa. I think I actually went, I'm intervening, because I was like, oh my days. He just ignored the boundary of the door. So I was like in shock. Then like he's pinned me, which sounds like much more intense than it was. You were just in my space. You were like face to face. And I was like, it literally felt like a movie. Like everything went quiet. It was a bit fuzzy. The room was just Bongani. Everything else was a bit dazed. And I could just hear her breathing. I was like, why are we breathing like this? What is this? What is this? And it literally was probably about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And I was like, why are we? And then Bongani left. And literally as soon as he left, I was like, that was a bit. I think I probably said something like, that was really intense. And what was that? What was that? What was that? I had a moment. I just needed to make sure that the ground wasn't moving. Everything wasn't still circling around me. I just needed to ground myself because I was like, whoop, 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 whoop. What is that? I can still feel my body, like it's kind of, I'm holding onto the table, but I can feel internally, my body's like, it's taking me right back there. I was like, what was that? What was that? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Literally for like, I stayed in the bedroom for a while. Just like, what was that? Why did that happen? I am an overthinker, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is that? Okay, and then I had to come out because I'm one of the leaders, and I'm like, there was going to be a leader down, so I had to come out. But I think for the rest of the night, or the rest of the day, we didn't really speak much. I think we probably kept a wide breath as well. I was just like, what was that? And I think it freaked me out even more because I had never felt that. And I had, what, 2-3 boyfriends at that time. I had never felt such...
Not at the same time. I think you should clarify that. Because...
I had had a total of 3 boyfriends at that time. And in none of those relationships had I ever felt whatever that was. In retrospect, I guess it must have been a spark. And I think I had introduced Bongani to my ex the week before.
Yeah.
The Sunday before we went on the Friday. And so I was like, oh my days, what is going on? Monday now, it's time to go home. And like my reception, I don't know about anyone else's, my reception there was sketchy. So on a normal day, I would have called my ex to just say, hey, how you doing? I miss you, whatever. Text. There wasn't any texting, there wasn't any calling because I had no reception. Monday, I woke up and I'm like, I don't want to go home. That thing that happened on Saturday. I'm gonna have to talk about it. I started feeling like really guilty. I felt like I'd been unfaithful. We did, in that moment, Bongani and I didn't kiss. We didn't go as far as kissing. But whatever that was, it felt like a betrayal to my ex. Because I'm like, and since the Saturday, all I could do was think about it. Because I was like, oh, what is that? Like, what does it mean? Like, will it happen again? I think I liked it. I don't know. Why did I like it? Because I'm in a relationship, so I shouldn't be liking it. Like, I overthinker. Remember I said that to you guys? And I was like, oh. So the coach journey back to Birmingham, we were like in Litchfield, so that's like 45 minutes to an hour. I was stressed. Like, if there could have been a physiological and an outward showing of the stress I was feeling, I would have just been sweating. The whole journey, just, you know, in the movies where there's just patches of sweat. He's like, is anyone else feeling that? No? But yeah, I just knew that I needed to speak to my ex about it. because I'm also the type of girl who, any little niggles of anything, I wanted to keep the flows of communication open and to be transparent, and I didn't want to hold on to it for any longer. I just wanted it to be out there, known, and then hoped that we could process it together, because I didn't know what it meant. Like I was saying, like there was all these things that were swirling in my head, because I was like, well, I thought I was in a happily committed relationship, so why am I even anything towards anybody else? So I told my ex, and I don't think at that point I even knew whether I wanted to end that relationship to be in one with Mongan. I just knew that I wanted to share it, and I wanted to journey with my ex through it, and for us to process it together. And he thought I was pulling his leg. He didn't take it seriously. And the following day I brought it up again, and I was like, no dude, I'm actually being serious. I don't know why I laughed, because I know I'm actually being serious. This is what happened, and I want to tell you, I don't know what I'm feeling, because I didn't, but I know I'm still in this relationship and still committed to this relationship, but let's process it together. And he just wouldn't believe that I was being serious, and he just shrugged it off. And in retrospect now, the fact that he just closed off to the idea, and because I needed to process it with someone, it then led me to Bongani, because I'm like, dude, what happened? What does it mean? What happens from here? And I tried for the rest of the week, from the Monday to the Thursday, Friday, I still tried to talk about it with my ex, and just try and get him to understand, like, this is what happened. This is what happened. I really don't know what it means, but it happened, and can we talk about it? He just wouldn't. And as the week went on, it also then, like our friend said to Bongani, the 18-month mark is very significant. It then all of a sudden, almost like the haze was removed from my eyes. I then began to see things in the relationship that I had overlooked, that I had convinced myself were okay, and I could just carry on through them. Like, it's only small, it's not a big deal. Things that
it'll change after marriage.
Yeah, things that were alarm bells for me, but I was sticking it out because I was like, that was my longest relationship at the time. I was like, you know, I want to get married. We've spoken about marriage, but it won't be anytime soon because they were training to be a doctor. So I was like, so it just, and it really sucked that it took this to happen for me to realize that there were actually things in the relationship that were not great. And I think to this day I feel awful for that, because I've never wanted to be the sort of girl who goes around breaking hearts and, you know, being unfaithful. Even though it wasn't a physical infidelity, it was still like connecting emotionally with someone, I think, can be potentially even worse than the physical, because it's now a heart connection, which is, I think, at a deeper level. So I felt awful, and I called it, because I was like, I think I was just disappointed that he wasn't even willing to process it with me, and he just was closed off to the idea of me being serious, and that this